Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 biggest kaiju movie monsters.
Well, he's pretty big.
Are you guys seeing this right now? Are you seeing this right now? Look.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most gigantic creatures to ever emerge on film. While some of these sizes are relatively precise, many are necessarily ranges and estimates. After all, these monsters don't hold still to be measured. We'll allow for different incarnations of the same character as long as they're different sizes. What's your favorite kaiju? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Kong, 393 feet tall. Monsterverse. When we met this massive ape, he measured at around 104 feet tall. But in between his battles with skull crawlers, we learned that he was a young monster that could get even bigger.
It wiped out his whole family.
Kong's the last of his kind, but he's still growing.
We saw the results of his growth spurt in the Godzilla vs. Kong trailers. Since the ape appears to be around the same size as Godzilla, he could measure anywhere between 351 to 393 feet tall. That means if Kong ever decided to visit New York City, he'd be able to look down at the Statue of Liberty. The giant ape's height is simply bananas. Let's hope he keeps that staggering size by feeding on kaiju instead of putting humans on the menu. Number 9. Godzilla, 393 feet tall. Monsterverse. The Godzilla that appears in the Monsterverse is another example of a kaiju who grew between two movies. While it measured around 355 feet in 2014, in 2021 he stands at around 393 feet tall. This intimidating height makes him the biggest version of Godzilla to appear in a live-action movie to date. Godzilla backs up his massive size with atomic breath, tremendous strength, and the ability to release thermonuclear blasts under the right conditions. The Monsterverse Godzilla is both a force to be reckoned with and a kaiju with a massive height. If it can score a win against Kong, it might become the most accomplished Godzilla ever.
The myths are real.
Yeah.
There was a war. And they're the last ones standing.
I keep reaching for greatness because I'm built from it.
Who bows to who?
Number 8. Colossal Titan, 394 feet tall. Attack on Titan. Anyone who's seen the two-part Attack on Titan anime knows that the titular creatures are violent, horrifying, and absolutely massive. These gigantic villains were also terrifying to see in live action. The biggest one of all was appropriately named the Colossal Titan. Towering at around 393.7 feet tall, this monster's huge size struck fear and resentment into the hearts of the surviving humans. This creature also made itself look more intimidating by radiating immense amounts of heat from its body. While we knew humans were pretty minuscule when compared to these monsters, the Colossal Titan made its fellow Titans seem like small fry. Number 7. Mecha-Kaiju, 419 feet tall. Pacific Rim Uprising. While the Jaeger pilots were working hard to fight 3 kaiju, a corrupted scientist named Newton Geisler used technology to fuse the trio of antagonistic creatures together.
Well, he's pretty big.
The abilities and bodies of Raijin, Hakuja, and Shrikethorn were combined to form the Mega-Kaiju. This creature stood at an incredible height of 419 feet. Next to this humongous beast, the Jaegers looked like toy robots. The Mega-Kaiju intelligence, tenacity, and multitude of special abilities made it into a threat that nearly destroyed the world. The most terrifying thing about the Mega-Kaiju is that its species might have an even bigger monster waiting in the wings. Number 6. King Ghidorah, Mecha-King Ghidorah, 492 feet tall. Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah. One of Godzilla's most notable nemeses of all time is King Ghidorah. This draconic kaiju with multiple heads has appeared in countless amounts of monster media over the years. In 1991's Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah, the titular antagonist figuratively and literally reached new heights. After Godzilla defeated it in battle, King Ghidorah got some mechanical upgrades and returned for round 2. Both its biological and mechanical forms were 492.13 feet tall. For comparison, King Dakar, the tallest roller coaster in the world, measures 456 feet. Given King Ghidorah's bad reputation, we wouldn't recommend treating the creature like an amusement park ride and trying to ride it. Number 5. King Ghidorah, 521 feet tall. Monsterverse. This version of King Ghidorah easily towers over our last entry. After awakening from a long nap in Godzilla King of the Monsters, it stretched out its 3 heads and stood at around 521 feet. This meant 2019's King Ghidorah was over 120 feet taller than Godzilla. Its humongous frame, gravity beams, and ability to regenerate made it a suitable candidate for the King of the Monsters' throne. But judging how it treated cities and innocent bystanders, it wouldn't have been a benevolent ruler. And with that post-credits teaser, we might see this massive creature again.
We'll take it.
Number 4. Slattern, 596 feet tall. Pacific Rim. In the first Pacific Rim film, all of the kaiju emerged from a portal nicknamed the Breach. When the humans try to destroy it, a creature named Slattern comes out to stop them. If this massive creature stood at its full height, it's estimated that it would stand around 596 feet tall. How does this translate to the real world? Well, if Slattern was in Washington, D.C., it would be bigger than the 555-foot Washington Monument.
What's wrong? You've reached the southwest window. Why are you hesitating?
It's fine, just never been this high before.
It's no wonder the precursors sent this massive kaiju to fight humanity. Unfortunately for them, they underestimated how determined Jaeger pilots were to keep the world spinning. Number 3. Godzilla Earth, 1,043 feet tall. Godzilla, Planet of the Monsters. Although you could debate for days about the best version of Godzilla, there's pretty much no question as to which version of the kaiju did the most damage. In the 2017 animated film, the legendary monster was so destructive that humanity decided to find a new planet to live on. One of the reasons they fled is because this Godzilla is around 1,043 feet tall. And that's not a typo. It's indeed twice as big as 2019's King Ghidorah. This version of Godzilla has all of the usual powers this creature has, with the added ability to terraform the entirety of Earth. We can completely understand why humanity ran away from this impossibly large kaiju. Number 2. Clover, 260 to 6,500 feet tall. The Cloverfield franchise. Every monster movie fan remembers where they were when they saw a Clover for the first time.
Are you guys seeing this right now? Are you seeing this right now? Look. Are you guys seeing this right now?
This massive creature made a gigantic impact when it stomped into theaters in 2008. But you may be surprised to learn that the approximately 300-foot creature that appears was just a baby. In 2018's The Cloverfield Paradox, we saw a glimpse of what a clover could look like when it matures. Although it's hard to nail down an exact size, fans have estimated that this clover could be as tall as 6,500 feet. If that number is correct, it would be taller than 2 Burj Khalifas stacked on top of each other. Let's hope we never have to find out how big a clover really is. Before we unveil our gigantic #1 pick, here are some honorable mentions. Scunner, 260 to 441 feet tall, Pacific Rim.
Just keep them busy for a few minutes.
Knifehead, 315 feet tall, Pacific Rim. Methuselah, 322 feet tall, Monsterverse.
On every continent, the Titans are triggering earthquakes, wildfires, tsunamis, and disasters we don't even have names for yet.
Raijin, 350 feet tall, Pacific Rim Uprising. Shin Godzilla, 388 feet tall, Shin Godzilla. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Void Ghidorah, 65,616 feet long, Godzilla the Planet Eater. Yes, you heard that correctly. This Ghidorah, nicknamed Void Ghidorah, measures over 65,000 feet long. If Void Ghidorah laid down in Manhattan, one of its necks could span over half of the island. In this film, a human cult wanted this version of the antagonistic monster to take out Godzilla Earth, but as soon as Void Ghidorah arrived, they quickly realized that this was the worst plan they could have come up with. This impossibly massive creature had the size and sheer power to destroy worlds, and almost anything standing in its way. Humanity was very fortunate Godzilla made sure this massive monster didn't completely wreck the Earth. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.